Was just my fault. And as I said before, I wasn't meant to be human. I wasn't meant to live under the roof of any human being. And I said that I was an animal.
You did not accept that you are a pedophile, even though you are a pedophile.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. How are you doing today? This video is not recently, but there's a video that triggered this. I've actually made mention of this video about 2 years ago or thereabouts. But you relax, you may not have seen it. And even if you have seen it, coming from a different angle and perspective. There is some story, there is some stories going about, on the social media about a very big ministry in Nigeria and the general overseer of that church. I'm trying to be very careful so that I don't give false narrative. But the thing is that I have watched about 3 videos and all of them are coming out within this time. And when weighty allegations like that are being carried by people, and these are people that, they claim they have their evidence, and sometimes they even name places and people that could bear witness to what they are saying. Now, we must be very careful. And one of the victims of this big ministry and big man of God, that is strange to actually think that things like that, things as weighty as we are hearing, could be happening in that place. Now, but nothing is strange with human. That is why you've always heard me say, if you have followed me at least for up to 1 year, you would always hear me say that before a man is called man of God, he is first and foremost a man. And with the fallen man, anything is possible except by the grace of God. Because if you take away God from the man, he is just as ordinary as every other man. So man of God or men of God are not spirit beings. They are not angels. They are also men that are prone to evil tendencies, just like any other person. So sometimes we misplace our priorities in thinking that for a man to be called a pastor, a bishop, a general overseer, an apostle, an evangelist, that they are immune to the depravity of the flesh. If you don't listen to me, if you are not patient to hear me, you will not understand, because I'm going to show you a video of what prompted me to say these things. Now you can imagine where a revered man of God is said allegedly have a special place where in the process of praying for women, he takes advantage of some of those ones he feels may have nobody to speak for them. And this is actually a trend. Whenever you see women or boys abused, you see there are always those people that have been monitored and they have been noted to have nobody strong enough to raise a strong voice on their behalf. So they are often victimized. Mind you, not confirming any story. I'm just laying a foundation to what you're about to hear from me, a video that I want to play for you. So now sometimes the way we too, who are followers of this man, the way we are wounded in the heart when we hear that something like that happened and somebody comes out to say what he has gone through in the hands of such and such big man of God or big woman of God. Now, because we think and we believe that, no, this man, this woman is not capable of such heinous crime or act. And so we become emotional, and in the process, we become enemies to those that we didn't even know. Even and taking, yes, we know that some persons can be inspired by the devil to want to tarnish the image of some individuals just to paint them bad. I remember the story that happened some times ago. I was told that where the general overseer of the general superintendent of Deeper Life Bible Church, I don't know about now, but in those days that his office, is built in a way that is half glass, half bricks. Now, so that you can, if you are outside, you can see the inside, and one inside can see you from outside. I was told that that was born out of the fact that some persons have tried so hard to tarnish his image and they could not. And so one day a woman came with a cameraman that was planted behind his office window. And the woman entered into his office purportedly for prayer counseling. When he stood up kind of to try and pray for the woman after this, the so-called counsel was done, the woman, having had an agreement with the cameraman, now launched forward to kiss him. And the intention was immediately as she was trying to kiss him, the cameraman ought to, trigger the button of the camera to capture the motion, and that will be a hot sell. Now the man was helped by God that while the woman was trying to kiss him, he turned immediately, and immediately he turned. What the cameraman captured was his backside, but he saw the cameraman. So after that incident, the office was reconstructed in a way that you can see somebody inside, and somebody from the inside can see you. It was built with glass. I've not been to that office, but if you're a member of Deeper Life Bible Church, you can either confirm this or reject it. It was a story that I was told. Now, so we know that there are some persons that can, out of envy and jealousy or inspired by the devil, so that the devil will make people to lose faith in Christianity and in certain persons that, they have thought that this person is a follower of Christ. So they can cook up stories like that happen. So this is where I will stop this. If you are familiar with what I'm saying now, that is trending now on the social media, you will understand what I'm saying. But that is not the story that I have for you. The story I have for you here is about this pastor and his wife who have been jailed for 34 years in the UK. Pastor Michael Olurunbi and his wife Juliana Olurunbi. Michael is about 60 years of age, and together with his wife, they have been jailed for 34 years in the United Kingdom. Now, brief background of Michael suggests that Michael was a member of Cherubim and Seraphim Church here in Nigeria in the 80s, and somehow he was active and committed to the things of the Lord in the church here in Nigeria. So he served and was ordained pastor. Now, along the line, he relocated from Nigeria to the United Kingdom, and over there also he joined as the White Garment Church in UK as well. And after some time, he created a splinter group. He broke away from the church and established his own ministry. Definitely, there is nobody that is actively involved in a church setting that when he leaves, he will not have one or two persons that will follow him. And eventually, he had some members, and for about 10 years, he ran the church. And somehow, he was able to build faith in the heart of the people himself. So he was seen as a man that cared a lot for his members. Now, after some time, he developed a sanctuary where people are being prayed for after service. And most notably, those that were being prayed for, that place happened to be children, aged children. The story has it, we're going to hear that along the line, this man started to molest and abuse, and he would book an appointment with his target and would tell them after service they should wait for special prayer, cleansing, and the deliverance. The children will wait behind. It was said that there was something like a pool, in this place that he created, and that is where the spiritual cleansing bath will take place. And this was done with the connivance of his wife. His wife was in the knowing. It wasn't something that he was doing in the secret. Now, this spiritual cleansing was usually done his victims naked, and he himself with towel, naked as well. And somehow it was said, according to the information I had, that in the process of this cleansing, the children will be given some substance to drink, and that will sedate them. And when he had finished fondling with them, he would have his way, little children, and some as young as 8 years old. And so this had gone on for more than 10 years until the children, they grew, became adults, and they were still, continued. The molestation continued to the point that some of them got pregnant, and with the help of his wife, abortion was done. And sometimes he would take them to hospitals where the abortion will be done. And, the children got used to it and thought that it was normal. Mind you that the molested children are, plus boys, I think about 6 girls and 1 boy. And the process of time, one of the children now, they have grown, and have grown into adulthood, even though that while they are adults, the thing continued for close to 20 years. So one of the victims eventually was asked by a cousin brother, and she divulged all that had been happening for a very long time to this cousin brother. That was how the secret was leaked, and this video you're about to record it.
You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
Everything was just my fault. And as said before, I wasn't meant to be human. I wasn't meant to live under the roof of any human being. And I said that I was an animal.
You did not accept that you are a pedophile, even though you are a pedophile.
Well, I didn't. It's only here when I came to this country
That you know that that's the name they give to your type.
Anyway, fine.
Now, interestingly, when the man knew that his cup was full, it was said that he hurriedly gathered some of his things and was trying to escape through the Birmingham airport. And luck ran out on him. He was arrested at the airport, brought back to be tried and to be jailed in the UK. Now, the lesson we have to learn from this was that, see, while these stories were going on, I am sure that there were some members that were like, you girls are demons, you are devils. How can you come so low to want to tarnish the image of an anointed servant of God? Have you not read in the scriptures where it is said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no? You are trying to touch this anointed. Let's even paint a scenario where this man successfully eloped from England and returned home to Nigeria. And he will go to the newspaper houses and will even conduct interviews and would, narrate a story where that he was being framed, that the devil entered into these children and, they were lying against him. Because in Nigeria here, definitely, once he comes into this place is a jungle, there will be nothing like justice. Everybody will believe that he was a man of God and they were trying to frame him up. Now, sometimes I imagine, I look at these things and I kind of think loud that if the way Africans and in a way Nigerians or even Christians, if the way we treat matters are the way governments all over the world treat matters when it comes to things as serious as this, I tell you that the world would have been a zoo. Everyone would have been in serious trouble. Now, but thank God for the developed countries like one, where the man committed the heinous act and, he was investigated and eventually he was found guilty together with his wife. If this thing had happened in Nigeria, he would have enough money to bribe the police, to bribe to bribe lawyers and to buy justice or even intimidate the victims, to silence their families. Now, this is the trend. This is what is happening. So many pastors are so powerful that they have governors as their members. Now, don't get me wrong, people, because when I speak like this, it's like I'm an agent of the devil. I'm not an agent of the devil, all right? Okay, so for you to understand that, investigation was done. Now, this was in the news, and even the officials who were involved in the investigation and in the jailing of the couple spoke to newsmen.
This case centres around two defendants of Nigerian origin who came to the UK in the 80s, joined a church within the Birmingham area and set up a splinter group to that church. It's quite clear that the main defendant, Michael, used his position as a pastor to access children within the congregation to then undertake what he would term spiritual bathing, but using that activity to commit sexual offences against those children. This has been a really difficult time for all the victims, all 7 that have held this for a number of years, the offending having taken place over a 20-year time frame. They've finally had the confidence to come forward and speak to the police, and it's really rewarding to see them get justice today in the sense of Michael and Juliana being held to account for their actions.
So the question I want to ask is, if this man was your pastor at the initial stage when these stories developed, you would not believe it. You will be like, how can the devil feel the heart of people like this? Now, this is maybe one in thousands of such stories of things like this that had happened, and the victims could not speak because The society will stigmatize them. The society would call them devils. And even in some cases, when it was proven that this is true, we've seen stories where parents told their children, don't talk, he's a man of God. Don't spoil the name of the man of God. And some will be like, you want to scatter the church? What church? Oh, you don't understand what I'm saying. I am not saying that people should begin to use magnifying glasses to look for pastors' weaknesses and errors. But issues such as the one that we have discussed is complete and total wickedness. You cannot call that an error. You cannot call that a mistake. Now, when the hands of the law, when he saw completely that he had nowhere to run because he was being recorded, I don't think he knew he was being recorded, right? But then even if he knew he was being recorded, at that point in time, he knew he was not having an option. And probably he was this open and profusely begging because he thought that this could be settled amicably within them there, and not knowing that the hands of the law catch up. Now listen, the story I'm trying to tell you here is that so many times we become emotional. So many times we take the place and we become devil's advocates in trying to fight against those who are telling their stories. Before this point in time, I have told you that I acknowledge the fact that some persons have the tendencies of lying against pastors. But I tell you something, that lies can travel faster, but the truth will always catch up with lies. So no matter how fast the lies travel, truth will always get to the doorpost of lies and will overtake lies. But you see, there is nothing you can do against the truth. Now, even if this man was able to return to Nigeria and would tell his own side of the story, would paint it and victimize even his own victims and their families, deep down in his conscience he would know that these stories are true. The trending story I talked about, I'm going to do small analysis on one of the victims of said man of God. Honestly speaking, he's one of those that I too respect, and I still pray that it is not true. Meanwhile, I think this one should be an eye-opener to any one of you that is always hell-bent to fight others because of men. I've always said that it is better to fight for the name of Jesus, defend the name of Jesus, protect the integrity of Jesus with your lifestyle, leave the rest God. If these men we are giving everything for to defend them, if they are men of God, God that called them will defend them. God, whether you like it or not, can also kill those who are trying to stop his work by spreading false rumors, falsehood against his servants. If needs be, you may take it or leave it. So now you cannot fight for God. Why not leave God? A lot of you are hypocrites. You will come and tell me God has not called anybody to help him, but you are helping, you are helping God as well. When you are trying to defend, when you are trying to fight people like me because of what we stand for and what we stand against, you are fighting us and you are telling us that we shouldn't help God, but you are one of the helpers of God in the negative sense. But the Lord give you understanding. Now, the case of Michael Olurumbi, I hope would open your eyes and open your understanding and make you to trust Jesus the more. Meanwhile, I have not advocated that you start to fight and hate on pastors. And I have not advocated that you stop going to church. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.